Right, hi everyone, and welcome to the Frankfurt Musikmesse 2012. My name is Mehdi, and I'm here for SAE alumniTV, and I'm here with Joe Sanborn, Global Manager of Behringer over here. Hello, Joe.
Hello, how are you today?
Great, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Ah, super.
So what do you have here? What does Behringer have in store for us this year?
Well, really the huge announcement this year is the X32 digital mixing system. And this is something that really has come about through about 2 years ago. Behringer, as a parent company, purchased Midas and Clark Technic. They still operate as an independent company, but this is really one of the first products that shows the fruits of that purchase. And a lot of the ergonomics of the mixing board and some of the different technologies are directly coming over from both Midas and Clark Technic. And we were also able to meet with their designers and really come up with not just a digital mixing platform, but a complete system. We have the X32, we have the S16 and the P16, and we'll be going through all those in just a second as far as the functionality. Really the key piece here is the X32 this year, and this is it's a fully digital console, which is 32 input by 16 out on the bus section. It's actually a total of 40 inputs. You can configure it in different ways, but there are 32 mic pre's on the board. And one key thing here is these aren't just run-of-the-mill mic pre's. These are Midas mic pre's.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, it's a whole different level of quality. So you're going to get a really nice transparent sound out of this board.
Very nice. Well, it certainly does look very impressive, because we did a piece about the P2C yesterday, and then, you know, well, one of your colleagues actually pointed out the X32, and was like, okay, well, we need to see this. So what does, can you go through some of the functionalities?
Yeah. Basically, as I said, this is your input section. So you have a 40 input console. It's configured in 2 layers. So we have channels 1 through 16 on the input side, and then layer 2 would be 17 through 32. Obviously you have flying faders happening here. This is working up in a channel strip type design where you have your mute switch. You can solo the channel. You also have your mic input gain level right here. It's showing you the compressor kicking in and out. This is a kick drum channel, so we're also gating that, and it's showing that the threshold is opening and closing on the gate. So that's kind of working up. On the top, whichever channel is selected, this becomes your input strip for that channel.
Brilliant.
It's really logical. You start up at the top. What do you start with? Your gain section. You have your gain knob.
It looks very intuitive.
Yeah, really, really intuitive. You know, 48 volt for your phantom power, phase switch, and then you have a filter where you have a high pass filter that you can dial that in. You can also pull up the graphic to see that, where you're setting that point. Whatever section you're on, if you hit the view, we could get to that view of that particular function that we're looking at.
So this is per se a master section for each individual channel?
Exactly. That would be on an analog board. Normally you have your channel strip that you're working up, usually your gain at the top and working down through your EQ and then your aux section.
It's pretty smart.
Yeah, so we just put that all up into this one section, and whichever channel you select, you're actually looking at that channel up on the top. We have a full dynamics section where you have a built-in gate, a compressor on every single input. You also have an EQ section that's a 4-band, fully parametric EQ. So you have a Q, a frequency, and then your boost and cut on every channel. You can dial in, you know, what type of EQ you're having on each one of those points. In your bus section, you have 16 buses on 4 knobs. So you have basically 4 layers to get to all of the 16 buses. And those are all completely pre or post fader. So you can
choose? You can choose,
yeah. If you want to use them for effects, you want to use them for monitors, if you're mixing monitors from front of house, you could also dial those in so that you can make them for whatever you need. So that's the input section in a nutshell. Down here you also have these really colorful little LCD screens which you can go through, and rather than scribbling with a Sharpie with a piece of tape on the bottom, like this is showing us kick drum on channel 1 with a little graphic of a kick drum. These are all my drum channels, so I made them all sort of this green color.
And are these presets, or do you actually have to type the name of the instrument?
Nope, the presets, you select kick drum and then the image that you want, and you just pop that in. You don't even have to type it. It's pretty cool. Down on the master section of the board, what we basically have are 16 bus outs on 2 layers, so 1 through 8 and then 9 through 16. We also have 8 DCA groups. So if let's say we have a group of drum channels and we want to assign all those to one fader, we can make a DCA. If we want to mute that whole group, we just hit mute. It's a real piece of cake. Like let's say we want to assign all these drum channels to that, I would just hold down select and I could just boom, those are now assigned to that DCA and you're good to go.
Brilliant.
If you want to check what's on them, you just kind of flash through them, kind of do that thing. And then we also have 6 matrix mixes. So, you know, if you're mixing in a situation where you have a speaker you need to set up out in the entryway so that the people coming in can hear, you can set it off of a matrix or, you know, whatever you want to use them for, but you have 6 matrices. Everything always comes up on your screen, so you have a visual. Down on the right side of the board, you got a little handy spot to stick your iPhone or Droid or whatever you're using. If you've got an RTA, you know, application or whatever, you can use it.
Very 21st century friendly.
Excellent.
We also have a set of mute groups down here, which are all important for when you're doing a show and you do in between songs, you want to mute different things or whatever. You have mute groups, real easy to assign these. And then you have an assign section where you can assign in 3 different layers, 4 rotary encoders and then a bank of 12 switches. So in the middle of the show, you need to get to your I/O screen really quick. Boom, you know you have it right on your B bank, you know, and you hit that button and you're right into it. On the back of the board, where it really gets pretty cool as far as the connectivity, is the AES-50 jack. You have a dual port AES-50, which is directly coming from Clark Technic. This is you know, a technology that they came up with, and we were able to add this into the board. What that's going to allow you to have is a digital snake system. So with one Cat5 wire from the console to your stage boxes, you can deliver all your different inputs and outputs. And we're building, I had mentioned some of the additional products that work with the system. The S16 is our stage box, which is going to allow 16 inputs to 8 outputs. And those, once again, have Midas mic pre's built in. So what's cool is if those are located down on your stage, you're keeping your preamps closer to your mic, so you're not running mic, you know, channels 200 feet down a snake. You know, much cleaner signal. And then at that point, you would be using the board to remotely control those mic pre's. You don't have to do it that way. There are 32 mic pre's in the console, but if you add that in, it's just a layer of functionality that's unsurpassed.
That's excellent. And both of these products are actually available on the market already?
The X32 is going to be out in June, shortly followed by the S16, which is coming up in August.
When you say out in June, in the US or in Europe?
I think that's the global launch of the product line. So,
brilliant.
Yeah, and we're really expecting this to be the biggest product in our company history, and that says a lot. You know, for a company that sold 6 million mixing boards in its history. I mean, this is going to be a major product. A few last things. I mentioned the S16. Keep in mind that those are stackable, so that you can put 2 of them together to get your full 32 in by 16 out. They have the P16 Ultranet connection on the back, which will connect to our 16 discrete monitoring system, which, you know, you could use that for in-ear monitors, so each musician on a stage or in a studio can dial in their own mix with those 16 inputs. And also, we have a card on the back, which allows for FireWire and USB 2.0. That's 32 in and 32 out. So if you're using something like Pro Tools 9 or 10, you can have that running in your DAW and 1 cable over to the X32, and you can do a 32-track discrete recording of your live show or in a studio environment. I mentioned a lot of features on this that are more live sound based, but this is also a perfect solution for studios.
That's what I was going to ask. I mean, this sounds very, very suitable for both environments. Yeah.
Exactly. So you have one of these in your control room, you have one Cat5 line running out to your live room, you put a few S16 units out there, or actually in a studio probably just one S16, because you usually only track about 16 inputs at a time, even for a rhythm section. And then you have your direct connection out for your P16 headphone system. So it's a complete studio solution, and you add that FireWire USB 2 card in there, right to your, and this becomes your interface for your recording environment.
Brilliant.
Also, it's a Huey controller for
as well.
So you could have flying faders going with your Pro Tools rig.
This is great stuff. This is great stuff, Joe. And I mean, this is amazingly compact as well, isn't it? I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
To transport, it would be so easy. Is it heavy? How heavy is it, approximately?
Approximately, it's around 50 pounds.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, not too bad. And we are going to be building road cases and different things that we will market with the council as well.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot, Joe. Thank you very much for your help. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us. And well, looking forward to big success.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.